Welcome to Virtual Play live game development streaming. We're a small indie game company in the Netherlands, making a lot of applied games, but also working on our own entertainment games. We have big plans, including a lot of new technologies and very cool new gameplay ideas. For this stream, we'll be showing the entire process of building our new game Hatchball, which is not really technically innovative, but a mashup of pinball and collecting and caring for cute creatures. My name is Stephan, and I've been programming and making games for over 30 years. When I was very young, I already had two big passions, music and computers. So I'm basically a self-taught programmer from a time before the internet and tutorials, and just studied computer science and artificial intelligence years later. Let's get started.
Good evening, or afternoon, or morning, wherever you are, just like every time. Well, it's time for a new episode of live game development, and I'm going to continue where I left off building a Hatchball, and where I left off last time should be okay, I've got my list here. What I did last time is make those fonts work in TextMesh Pro. I added a bit more UI, I added like a message spawning thing, and I added ball spawning to the bottom so that we have like more than one ball and a nice logic for that, and losing balls and actually game over state. So today I'm going to hopefully finish that ball spawning bit so that we'll actually spawn balls instead of just putting them in from scratch. I'm going to build the kickers. It's going to take quite some tweaking, and I'm going to do something interesting with the ball because it's 2D but it has a 3D model. It's a 3D scene, so it needs to roll as if it were rolling in 3D. I'm going to do a little trick that I did fast for that. So that's it. Now let's get started. I've got my project open here and my Visual Studio open there. All right, let's see where we're at. We're at the point that the balls are down here. They get spawned. I actually don't remember what the last little bit was that I did. For that I'll open Git. That's another nice use for Git. I'll see, I added ball spawning and losing logic, and then, well, I'll just run it to see where I was at. I think the spawner itself was not superbly working yet. Yeah, that works. Let me just lose this ball and see what the problem was. I don't remember. It works fine there. 3 balls left. 2 balls left, and that's where it doesn't go. So without having the weight of another ball pushing it there, the last ball won't roll on there. So let's change the timing there a little bit. Where am I gonna go? It's the this is strange. Where is my ball starter? I thought it would be there. Let me just have it open from here. There we go. Right, so there's these timings. So maybe the release. I think that the release duration on the first one is okay, but I should definitely let it be longer on the second one. So let's see if that 0.5 something like that works better. I'd better do that right away. This will take too much time. That's a bit of a waste. Just gonna delete these 2 balls. Yes. First one rolls, second one rolls. That's nice. Okay, fixed. So next, instead of having the ball just enter the field from the scene, I'm going to, because we also want to have a difficulty setting in this game, so we'll be able to like change the number of balls that enters the field. So I'm gonna add a ball spawner so that it actually spawns balls before they get launched into the game, which also means that this ball starter should know that it's like the gateway. If there is no ball on the first starter, then this one should stay down. I'm going to change the script a little bit. I'm gonna say that if it's not the first starter, then it won't do the rotate back up thing after the release duration. No, it will just do that when the first starter actually gets the ball. All right, so let's say this one is going to be turn back. Whoop. And it's gonna be the code that I had. And I'm not gonna delay this. That's the only thing. The only time I'm gonna delay this is going to be when I have when I'm the first starter actually. So that's already there, the if statement. That's nice. Not adding any complexity there. So I could just say turn back now instead of this whole lambda construction. I can say turn back. Note that I don't need these because then it will become a call and this is just an action. You can pass a method itself as an action. And that's the way it works for the first starter, but for the other one, it will just release. It will do turn back when the first starter actually gets that ball collision entered. So I'm just gonna say I'm adding a state that it knows that it's turned down, and the turn down will go as soon as it starts rotating. Actually, when it completes, I guess. Yes, turned down, true. And then on collision enter 2D. Oh, hold on, I will use it here. If turned down, will there ever be a case? I can't really predict if there ever going to be a case when it's turning down, and while it's turning down it would rotate back up. So I'm actually just going to do this only when it yeah, and that's not going to be correct. So if somehow the timing is such that it wants to turn back when it's turning down, I really need to make sure that that still happens. So I'm going to save this tween. Tween turning down. So turning down is I'm gonna save this, do the rotation tween, and so I'm actually gonna turn that thing to true already, and then if it's turned down, then it will first check if it's still turning, and then if it's still turning, so let's think active. So if it's still turning down and that tween is still active, I want to cancel that tween. kill. Yes, kill the tween. So we'll just kill means it will just stop where it is. When stopping the tween, then I will actually slide it back. So now on collision enter for the first one, I'm going to say if first is first starter, then I'm going to tell the next starter to turn back. Yeah. And another thing is that on start, yes. Well, let's just say start. It's not something that needs to be at a super start. Let's see here. On start, I'm going to turn the thing down if it's not the first one. So if it's not the first starter, I will release. Right, so what this just does is it keeps this one down as long as there's no ball resting against that one. As soon as the ball resting is against that one, then it will pull this one, put this one back up. That's what I just wrote. Let's see if it works. I'm just gonna spawn a ball. Okay, so that one goes down. That's good. Oh, hold on. There's an error here. Boom. The error inside the tween, ball released. Ball. Resting ball. Oh, there's no resting ball. Yes. Hold on. I didn't call release on the first one, so that's weird. Yeah, that one doesn't have his first starter. It rotates down. So who called release on that one? That's interesting. Release. Game object.name. I'm gonna check what happens here. Ball starter 1 should not release. Ball starter 2 should release. Release ball starter 2. Boom, and then release. Oh, that's the start of the game. All right, that makes perfect sense. The start of the game. There we go. First starter dot release. Yeah. I'm going to delay that a little bit longer. Put in 2 here. I'll put 5 down, and actually, that's not gonna change anything because it's serialized. But I'm still changing the default value as well. Start delay 5. Right, so then it would work well while spawning balls. So I'm actually gonna add a ball spawner now. So I'll just copy some object I have, doesn't really matter which one, to have the right position for this thing. I'll remove ball starter from this, and it actually doesn't need a collider. Oh, sorry, yes. First remove the drawer, then remove the collider. Now it's just a transform, so basically I can't select it. Ball spawner. Right, so there's a ball spawner. Was that one still there? No. Global 50. Oh yeah, I didn't do it yet. Okay, so ball spawner is going to need a reference to the ball. To the ball prefab. Oops. and then it will spawn the ball when I call spawn. Number of balls. And then later on I can add here a auto launch thing if I want, but I'm not sure if that is ever gonna happen here, because I think multi-ball will definitely be based on locking balls and just releasing them when they're all locked. So I think we won't need auto launch, but it might be something that we can add later, like auto plunge the ball into play. For now, it's just gonna add some balls. So I'm going to make a for loop that goes from 0 to number and will spawn ball prefabs with a delay. Why with a delay? Because otherwise they'll just come all get here and like fling themselves, like fling the others away, push them away. Instantiate ball prefab where on this position, with what rotation? Nothing. Like neutral rotation, quaternion identity. And then I'm gonna need to add a delay. Yeah, I could actually do that differently. I'm gonna do this differently. I'm going to make a spawner that gets a number and it adds it to number to spawn, so that if I like somehow in the future get the reference, like get an instruction to spawn 3 balls and then 5 balls right after, and the 3 haven't spawned yet, then it will just keep spawning until it has actually spawned those 8 balls all together. And then so this is gonna happen. I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna this is not gonna make sense. I don't need to delete action for that. I just need an update loop. Fixed update, and when I spawn balls, I'll just check every so many seconds. I don't know how long it takes for the ball to roll down that little bit, but let's just call that a little bit of time that goes between spawning. So spawn rate, no, rate is just that many per second. Spawn delay. So that's the delay between balls. And this is the actual spawning. And here I'm just gonna have a timer run down. Spawn timer. Yeah. If spawn timer is less than 0, I'll do the actual instantiating and add spawn delay to spawn timers. So spawn timer gets added spawn delay. So what happens here now is that I'm going to have a variable spawn timer that will get smaller every tick by time. So it will just time until it's 0, then it will instantiate a ball, but it should only do this If the number to spawn is bigger than 0, then it will instantiate one ball, and then it will also remove 1 from the number it still has to spawn. Then it adds the new delay, so the next spawn will be in spawn delay seconds. So for instance, let's just say 0.7 or something. I'm not sure that's too fast. Maybe that's too fast. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to have the number to spawn increase at the start. Welcome to Hatchball, and then ball like spawner dot spawn 3. Let's just do 5 and immediately, and spawner needs to be ball spawner. I need to make a reference to that. It's going to be in global. I really need to rename that object first. Ball spawner. There we go. And ball spawner. There's a warning. I don't need that kind of stuff. Ball spawner will be having a reference to the ball prefab, so that I can actually spawn balls. Prefab. Oh, there's no ball prefab yet, is there? Huh? That's weird. That's annoying, because then I lost my ball. I thought I'd made a ball prefab. Okay, so simple thing I can do here. Save the scene. I will go into my folder here. Whoa. So this folder here, and I will, where's the scene? In scenes, of course. I'll copy the scene. Sample scene copy. I will go into Git. I will revert my scene. Revert, reset to commit, reset. So like just revert all my changes, right? And then I'll reload it. I'll have some ball here. From this, I'll make the prefab. There's a ball prefab. And I will simply take this away and the new one and replace the scene I just copied. So I got it out of version control. Reload. Now I've got the scene back the way I made it, with including the fixes I just did and the ball spawner, but this time I have the ball prefab. Super simple Git stuff, but you just have to think about the fact that you have previous versions already there. Yes, of course I didn't now I was forgetting to reference the ball spawner here. There we go. So if all's okay, I should get 5 balls spawning here. Like doop 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 doop. No, that was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see then when this one hit, it actually pulled that one up, but this didn't work well. Yes. It probably hit it twice. Let's see, ball starter. So what I did now on collision enter, if it's a first starter and a ball rolls onto it, I will just say the next starter to turn back. But I also want to check if that was actually the resting ball. So Alright, So this way, if it was the ball that was resting on it before and it collides with it again, it won't do the turning. Yeah, it won't do the turning back. Still also had some kind of error. I want to get rid of that too, but let's just first see. 1, 2, 3. It stops, it goes back. Now it releases that because the game starts. That one comes on and it goes back perfectly. Launch this, get rid of it, and the next one will get through there and whoop, works fine. 4 balls left, and that system also that I wrote last time of the amount of balls left also works fine. 3 balls left, soon we'll have 2 balls left, and there we go. So now let's say I'd want to spawn more balls. You see this one now keeps down, so that's nice. If I spawn more balls, it will just get there. So this is a nice little spawning system that gives the player a nice view of how many balls his stuff has left, and also makes it possible to do like physical spawning, which is what we wanted. So that's nice. Yeah, really need to make that ball roll. Gonna do that later, like in 3D. I mean, gonna do that in a bit. Oh, that's activity monitor. I actually wanted to go to source tree. Let's close that one off. And I'm gonna commit this stuff. Spawner finished. All right, so finishes a ball spawner spawning system. I'll push and I'll continue while doing that. So right now we've got the first thing done. The next thing I said I wanted to do is the kickers. So these things need to get bits on them that push the ball away, just like actually those bumpers do, but then linearly, and they actually, you want to see them move out. That's the best thing. So I'm gonna add one of those. Just make it centered here. That would be nice. And then create a nice little shape. Oh, I like this, so that it can react, it can respond itself. I actually don't need these little bits. I can, like, when the ball actually lands inside of this onto this edge, then it will bump itself out there. I actually can make it this kind of shape. Right, so I'm gonna make this, what color is gonna be a rabbit. Well, that doesn't help. I'll make it kind of like this brownish color. Right, then it needs to be a kicker. Does it have a name? Yes, I think it does. Let's get my layout here. N1. Oops, there. So that's kicker N1. And then we got the other one. Let's just make that or happen already. Do we want that? Yeah, let's just make the prefab without adding any stuff yet, but just so the other one will be the same. Kicker N1 and kicker N2, which just will be mirrored in the X direction. Oh, I did that pretty much exactly right. All right, so now these need, I probably have a icon. I think I do have an icon already for a kicker script. That would be nice because, come on. Because it will look better there. And then let's see. Whoa, again, this menu stuff with the inspector. So weird. Maybe they fixed that. Let's see. Kicker script. kicker script needs to be oh, I put a lot of scripts I didn't put in my scripts folder. So naughty. There we go. Go into the scripts folder, and I'll make kicker have the kicker icon. Come on. Yes. Huh. That's strange. I really thought I had made that. So this one is in editor resources, yeah. Slingshot, of course, that's the official name. Let me definitely change that. It's called a slingshot. That's my bad. Slingshot and 2, by the way. Also, gonna put that one up there. Oh yeah, can only do that in prefab mode. Apply that. Go into the prefab. Change that one to be up there, and I will rename the script. Oh, that's like there's nothing in there yet. I could have just made a new one, but right now I did. So renaming the script, I have to rename the class and the file name. Slingshots. I'm gonna take some libraries out, I think, for now, because this compiling takes way too long while doing nice prototyping. Slingshot. Now it has the slingshot icon. There we go. And getting back on this, getting back to the scene. Yes, there's our slingshots. Right, so we got the slingshot, and it doesn't do anything yet, of course. It's got a collider, which is good because it needs that. The material should be rubber. Let's override that in the prefab as well. And then I'm going to edit the script so that it will actually punch out. It might be nicer, I'm thinking of that now, to have this angle also be the angle that the actual object is rotated in. Hold on, see. So what I'm going to do instead of this shape is make it straight. The same X, so let's say something like that, and change that one. Oh, that doesn't work while it's in edit mode, of course. If you want to change the if you want to change those values, you shouldn't have it in active polygon editing mode. All right, now I'm gonna just rotate it so that I can already use the direction of rotation also as the direction that the force is going to be in. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, angle is a little bit almost there. Yeah, all right, 20.7, whatever. Overriding, applying this to the other one as well. I need to rotate it minus 20.7, and then it will be here. All right, that's better. Now they're rotated in the right direction already, so I can use this its local orientation to kick it. So let's do that. Slingshot. We'll kick the ball. What direction? Well, in the direction. Let's just draw a gizmo for that. Draw gizmos. On draw gizmos, I will draw a little arrow. I did that before in the level transition thing, so I'm just going to copy that a little bit. Never write the same code twice if you don't need to. I make it yellow because I made this kind of yellow, and then I'm gonna draw a line from its position to its position. Let's just make a temporary variable here that is called, should it be temporary? No, it won't change position, right? No. So let's make it yeah, vector 3, because it's always a three-dimensional thing, the position. Arrow end, and then I'm not sure that will work, because this needs to run in the editor as well. Then no, I'm just gonna do it here. Arrow end is the transform dot position plus transform dot local, no, not local, just transform dot rotation dot, oh no, actually just simply transform dot forward. Super easy. Every object has its forward, and I'm not sure this is forward or right. I could check here, the blue axis. Okay, so I should have right. That's the red axis. Yeah, that's the X axis. So in Unity developers have thought of the forward to be like into the screen, or into the yeah, that makes sense, into that direction, like going into the screen. So arrow end is my end. Then I will just draw from transform position until arrow end, and then I'll change end here with end. Oops. And then that's transform the position, and I already have my arrow. There we go, and there should be an arrow here. Why are you not there? I said save. Maybe this slingshot file is not the correct one. Again, I had this before when I changed some files while editing them. Yes, so I should paste it here. Now it will change and will show me two arrows, one from here, one from there. Let's see if it actually works. Yes, it's a bit short, and that one doesn't take into account its, that's quite strange actually. The transform.right does not take into account its X scale, local scale.x. And then let's make this twice that, and then we get a nice arrow. Yep, that's what I wanted. So now I can see that these are active kickers. It's nice just to have more feedback for people building. It could be somebody else in the future building more of those levels. So then they will know, okay, there's a kicker and it goes in that direction. Because you can change the shape of the kicker. Maybe people want to experiment with that as well, but then you still know what its local orientation is. So that one. Right. Could also put this one on. Unity has a way of showing the handle, its orientation, but local axis. Now let's have it kick. Going back into Slingshot, and I'm going to add the kick. Let's say on collision enter 2D. What we're gonna do on collision enter 2D. On collision enter 2D, I've got a ball. So let's get that. Game object ball is collision dot the incoming game object. And then what are we going to do with that ball? Do we actually need to get it to do more things with, or do I only need it once? In that case, this doesn't make any sense. But let's just see. Oh, maybe I don't even need it. I was going to do this physically. So on collision enter, I will just spring out. I will do it kind of the same as I did for a flipper or a plunger even. So let me take some of that stuff here. But then instead of input, it's going to be the trigger. I just copied the entire plunger logic. I'm going to need the rigid body, the up velocity, the down velocity, the max displacement. Yeah. Then that's going to be different. Start Y and end Y. That's going to be vectors. Start position and end position. Although I could just use X to check. Not really though. No, sorry. Oops. Start position. I'm gonna need that to put it back as well. And okay, so on awake, for this object, I'm going to be storing its rigid body. That's good. Then the start position is the start position of the rigid body, and then the end position is going to be max displacement. I need to do, no, actually that's good to have it. End position is the start position plus that same bit that I drew the direction of the arrow in, and then normalized. Oh, that's normalized already because it's right. And then times max displacement. Ooh. Then that should work. Yes, that will work. And then I'm going to, what I did now is like I calculated the end position based on its direction, start position plus going right, and then the max displacement, it definitely should be not be like 2.5. So look, this is 2, so I want this thing to kick out probably 0.5 or something. I'll see about that. And then the up velocity and the down velocity I already have there, but now it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to make sure that it will start it will start going up on collision enter, so it will be awake and active. That's just not necessary. Both are not necessary. Awake is not necessary in this case. And then the rest of this can go. Not truly though, no. I'll need the okay, so let me see. In the case of the plunger, I was going to go down when it was active, which means that the down velocity is used. In this case, the up and down velocity should still be rotated, by the way. Up velocity should be rotated with the local rotation around the z-axis. That's oof. I'm going to change this one into a float as well, and that one as well, and just say like 115, because then I can easily make that into the same kind of vector that I used for the end position. Up vector float vector 2, up vector and down vector, to make sure that I know the direction that the rigid body will move in. I'm going to create them here. Up vector will be the transform.right, so the same thing times the effect if it is mirrored, and then times, what did I say, up velocity. And then down vector, yeah, the down vector will be the same kind of thing, but then the other way, so down velocity minus, so they will actually go back. All right, so up goes to the right in the direction of the object is rotated with a speed of up velocity, and down will go to the right in the down velocity, but then the other way because I've used minus there. So when a collision starts, the rigid body's velocity will be up vector. Then as soon as it's, this is the update thing, when it gets to its end position, so let's use the X position because that's gonna change more. Whoa, rotation there. Hold on, is that in here? Ouch. That's an error that I didn't see before. Plunger still had an error there. That's so weird. Why did it not show? Huh. Anyway, this should be possession.x, and that if that's more than end position.x, then I know it's past its end position, and then it will be at the end position. And actually in this case it won't stop there. Now it will immediately go back. So the down velocity, the down vector. And then once it's back past the starting position, there it will actually say I am at the start position again. I was just thinking while typing here and while saying this, do I need the awake and active? I said that I didn't. It's nicer to do so, I think, for performance reasons, because otherwise I will just keep checking these bits, and I can't have that because that's just a bit too much. So it will wake. If active, it will automatically go down and say I'm not active anymore. So active means going up. which also I think I will rename because going up reads better. And then it could stop being awake. So collision makes it go up. Then it's going while it's going up, if its position is past the end position. Oh yeah, there we go. This is a problem. If it's scaled, I need to have this be reversed. So what am I doing here? I want to check if it's past that position, but if this whole position is if the whole thing is mirrored, then I should actually check if it's smaller. But by multiplying them both by -1, it works again. So this should work. I'm just gonna check it now. I did a lot, and they should be there. Come on, give it to me. Yes. Right. So ball spawning. Oh, there's missing component exception. There's no rigid body. Oh, oops. Rigid body 2D. So let's see again. The material is rubber. Physical materials, rubber. It is not simulated. What? Oh, sorry. It's kinematic. Why does simulated? Why is simulating even a thing? Well, I'm not gonna think about it. It's continuous. It will interpolate. It won't rotate. And then I put that somewhere over here. So it makes more sense. That's so small. Right. Now that should give us some rigid bodies, and then our kicker should work. We're seeing them here. Balls get rolled in, and we're starting. Oh, there we go. Bang! That's a lot of force. Yeah, we didn't actually see how much force they would use yet. It's 100 right now. The speed. So that definitely seems like way too much. I can turn that down a little bit and see what happens. Oh, why was my shift not doing anything? Oh, what? Why is it reversed now? That's so lame. Okay, hold on. What? Something weird is going on here. It's because I'm using shift, I think. That when I exit it. Oh, I was using shift to select both these. And then, oh, that's better. Down velocity 5. I'm just gonna, it does work. Okay. Let's see what the kickers do now. Slingshots. Whoa! Bang! Oh, of course, runtime, they don't change anymore. Yeah, that's very much true. Let me use that first. But the concept works. They were just a little bit too powerful. Gimme ball. Yes, there's a ball. Ah, rollovers. I'm gonna do some. Yes. Okay, so that's a bit too not enough. And I actually also see there that the tip was actually stopping it. There we go. Yeah, that's not enough. So it needs to be somewhere in between 20 and 100. Yeah. All right, let's say 50. 50, 25, everybody's happy. Except then this little bit that this tip actually triggered, like it kept the ball here from going there, I think. Not 100% sure, but I am going to change the shape. The shape just a little bit. 1.9 minus 1.9 and see what that gives me. That looks better. All right, kicker's done for now. Slingshots actually. Slingshots done. I'll keep calling kickers. Doesn't matter a lot. I should change the default value for people who are later going to build them into levels. And there we go. Yep. So I'm actually gonna stop now because I need to be somewhere at 9. Well, I need to go somewhere at 9. So I'm not gonna go on longer than the hour. So what I'm gonna do is commit stuff. And yeah, moved some bits and added the slingshot. Oh, the prefab is called kicker. Let's not do that. Oh, I closed I closed my repository there. Whoa. I closed my repository instead of just going back. I saw that I still had the prefab called kicker, while it should be slingshot. That's just my naming. Saved, yes. And now slingshot. Yep, there we go. Okay, adds slingshot. Pushing that, and that's it. Right. Yeah, got my ball spawning finished, and I got my kickers there. It's it might not be so much, but I think it's important to do all this very neatly so that it's all reusable. So that that's a different kind of hatchball. The other one, go away. Yes. Yeah, going okay. Got this nice pinball machine here. It's getting somewhere. What I am going to probably do, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this before Thursday. No, I'm probably not. Well, because I want to change some scales and stuff with design, like along with other people. And then next time I'm going to do the 3D rolling simulation. Got a kicker there, yeah, that's some nice kick there. And I've got my layers, and I've got my, yeah, there we go, my layers. And the other, and still that's one of the things I wanted to change. Anyway, yeah, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back on Thursday with a new episode, which will start with the simulation of 3D rolling. Actually, might take a little while to get that fixed properly. Not sure how much time we'll have on Thursday, but we'll see. At least I'm gonna do that, like make sure the ball spins around that axis and that axis as well, as instead of only the 2D rotation, while still just only using 2D physics. Yeah, thank you for watching again. If you like this, please drop a like. Please press the subscribe button on YouTube. And if you want to be notified when something new happens, like a new stream, then you can press the bell button, which also helps. And for those on Twitch, please follow. We really need our followers to get into the affiliate program and try to find a team and stuff like that. So please follow. And yeah, you can watch all the previous streams on YouTube at least. I think the first ones are now disappearing from Twitch. That's probably gonna change when we reach a better state, but for now, find the old ones on YouTube. And of course, as always, you could consider becoming a Patreon. We're a small studio. We always need more funding because we don't want to, don't want to. I wouldn't say no to a super big deal with a publisher, but for now, we're just not involved with publishers buying us. Of course, we didn't do anything that would warrant that, but we do want to make nice games. This game's going to be completely free. Of course, you could just support us by playing the game once it releases and then just buying some nice stuff in there, like levels and or food for your nice hatchlings. But you could also become a Patreon and support us in a more regular way if you would like that. We would really love that, and then you get some access to our Discord server and some extra special stuff. For now, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave you with the track I'm playing lately. That's the second one I'm playing. It's a weird one. It's called "We're Still Here." It was made to exactly fit a game of 4.5 minutes with a 4.5 minute cycle, but it has to have a weird feel. So you can probably hear that in this. Yes, thank you, and see you next time.